The Abigdonian elephant tortoise is a species of land tortoise that lived on the island of Pinta in the Galapagos archipelago and is probably extinct. Described by Albert Gunter in 1877. It is considered by various taxonomists either as an independent species or as a subspecies of Chelonoidis nigra. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, the species was almost completely destroyed. From 1831 to 1868 alone, 435 turtles were taken from Pinta Island by whalers, according to official records. The last living representative of the species, named Lone George, was discovered in 1972. Attempts to save this species were unsuccessful. This last member died on June 24, 2012. In 2020, a young female hybrid with a high genetic content of Chelonoidis abingdonii was discovered on Isabella Island, which is a recent direct descendant of an unknown purebred of the species that may still be living in the area. Although the species originally lived on Pinta Island, mariners of past centuries often transported giant tortoises of this and other species to Isabella Island. Lone George was a male Galapagos tortoise considered the last and only member of the subspecies. George was a symbol of conservation in the Galapagos Islands. George was found by the Hungarian scientist József Vagvoldi in 1972. It was named after the American actor George Gobel. Theoretically, turtles of this species are capable of maintaining the ability to reproduce even at the age of 200 years. After George's death, the subspecies of the Abingdon elephant turtle is considered extinct. George was kept in an enclosure at the Darwin Research Station on St. Croix. For decades, zoologists had tried to obtain offspring from George, but without success. At one time, scientists believed that George was incapable of reproduction at all, but this turned out not to be the case. In May 2007, after genetic analysis of 2,000 turtles, a female wolf volcano turtle was found to be genetically similar to George, a hybrid with a paternal line sibling George, after which there was hope for the continuation of the species. Fertilization occurred, but the embryos and the eggs were not viable. Lonesome George is the subject of a popular science book by Henry Nichols, Lonesome George, The Life and Love of the World's Most Famous Turtle. On June 24, 2012, the body of the unique reptile was found without signs of life by the caretaker of the reserve Fausto Lyrino, who had been caring for the turtle for 40 years. Lonely George died at the age of about 100 years without giving birth. This marks the extinction of the subspecies in question. After the autopsy, the turtle will be embalmed and exhibited in a local museum so that future generations will have a clear picture of the extinct reptile.